in which humanity has run out of dishwashers.
Lawrence Brown for Prime Minister. Greetings and welcome back to another British Family React video. Minus Alana, she's having a sleep. However, we have got a fantastic reaction for you today. It's another Lost in the Pond. And today's video is entitled
5 Ways British and American Kitchens Are Very Different. Now, I'm looking forward to this one because I've been spending a lot of time in the kitchen recently doing Cooking with H, and I've been trying to make a few things from scratch. That's all very good. But one thing I think is going to come up in this one is the refrigerator sizes might be different.
Oh yeah,
we did a post on that, and y'all's refrigerator. Sorry, that wasn't meant to be an American accent. It just happened.
And the ice, a lot of
ice makers.
Kettles. I'm thinking kettles might be a bit different because we drink tea, don't we?
Oh yeah, so
we don't have those coffee. You know those things always on American shows.
Percolators.
Percolator, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Join our family as we delve into all things America. That's enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get on with the video. Oh, that's one of those whistling ones, isn't it?
Yes.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to kitchens. It's that time of year again, of course, when food sees its approval ratings shoot to new heights. And while I continue to look at the way in which British and American food varies wildly, the same is true of kitchens. Sure, some American kitchens on the whole might be larger than their British counterparts,
yes,
just by virtue of the fact that houses are. But for once, I'm not going to concentrate on size. Instead, today, I'm going to stick a rubber-gloved hand deep down into the details of how we use our kitchens. From etiquette to gadgets, here are 5 ways that British and American kitchens are very different.
Oh, kettles.
I don't know if you've heard this or not, but my homeland of Britain may or may not be obsessed with tea. We're so obsessed, in fact, that when everybody was worried about running out of toilet roll, we were clearing the shelves of PG tips. And our obsession with tea can be seen through the gadget we use to make it, the electric kettle. An electric kettle is a kettle that is electric. That is, you plug it into the wall. Now, I don't have British...
I like that colour. It's got a funky colour, isn't it? It's kind of retro, but... you know, the style of it with the colour. Yeah, it looks nice.
Plug sockets where I live, so what you're seeing right now is not completely authentic. But the electric kettle at my house is made by the British company Russell Hobbs. You simply plug it in, put water in it, switch it on.
Well, that's got a heat dial on it.
Oh, very snazzy.
Seen this before?
No, but then I don't think I would have looked for one, to be honest. I bet that costs more than the kettles that we usually buy. Ours probably like £10.
Yeah.
For it to boil. Now, any British people watching this might be thinking, how on earth do Americans make tea? Well, firstly, Americans don't drink tea quite as much as British people. And secondly, even though America doesn't have a royal family, coffee is king. Not literally, that would be absurd. But for Americans who do drink tea or hot drinks that aren't coffee, they usually have stovetop kettles.
Let us know in the comments below if you actually drink hot tea, but also let me know in the comments, or let us know in the comments if you drink cold tea or sweet tea. We'd love to hear from you.
Do you know what? I was going to say exactly the same thing. Let us know in the comments if you like tea. If you know, Mr. H does like tea and I hate it.
But I like coffee. I love coffee as well.
I love coffee. Maybe I'm American.
Maybe.
They work much the same way as electric kettles, except you don't plug them in. And the only thing that you turn on is the stove.
Yeah, you can use the gas hob if you've got one of these style kettles, but have you ever tried boiling water in a saucepan to use for a coffee, and it just does not taste the same, does it?
Well, I've not done it for coffee, I've done it for tea.
I don't think
and
it tastes the same.
I've actually done it for, which reminds me, when I did Southern Sweet Tea.
Oh, yeah. If you want to catch that, we'll pop a little link up here.
Yeah.
And you can watch Mr. H try in your traditional Southern Sweet Tea.
And if you'd like to see Mrs. H do it, like this video.
Once I'm saying do not like the video.
Like the video.
I have to say, while I don't have a major preference between both types of kettles, there is something a little bit satisfying about a kettle that whistles.
You don't seem to see them much. I won't keep pausing because we don't want to lose the flow of the video, but you don't see them so much. I remember seeing these more when I was a kid.
Or if you go camping. That's the kind of kettle you have when you go camping, isn't it? That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Plus, that way you know when it's done, even if you're in another wing of your house, another room of your house. Either way, when it comes to Britain, the electric kettle is not the only kitchen gadget. that uses water.
Washing machines.
Yeah, so you guys, you have bigger washing machines.
Well, no, they don't have them in the kitchen.
Well, no, you don't have them in the kitchen.
They've got like a little...
Yeah, the American kitchens are different. I was going to start talking about washing machine differences.
Yeah. No, I think they've got a separate room.
Like a utility room.
Utility room where they'll have like washing machine.
We do have them over here, but as Lawrence mentioned, we don't have as big houses as you have over there stateside. So to have a utility room, you have usually got quite a big house and you're quite lucky.
Washing machines in a kitchen. Sorry, America, for most Brits, this is a harsh reality. When I say harsh, most of us wouldn't want it any other way. When I was growing up, the washing machine was right there next to the kitchen.
It's funny, isn't it? Because if you really think about it, and I can understand the American side of the argument, it's like, why would you have a washing machine in the kitchen? I've never really thought, kitchens are normally about cooking, eating, washing up, maybe sitting around the table rather than washing clothes. But I see both sides of the argument, but we've been brought up that it's always in the kitchen.
I would love to have our washing machine and tumble dryer in a different room of the house just so that you could close the doors on that noise.
It was an easy way to consolidate chores and get chicken curry in your underpants. It doesn't end there because a lot of British washing machines also contain a dryer in one machine. It's not a great idea because the dryer is usually rubbish. Hence why a lot of Brits still put their clothes out on a washing line. Across the pond, look around most kitchens in the United States and you won't find a washing machine.
Would you, and no washing line? Do you not hang your washing up? Let us know in the comments below. Do you?
No, they do use dryers.
I suppose, no, I haven't really seen.
But then it would make sense because in certain states you get the weather, so to hang your washing out, it'd be dry in no time and you would save electric.
You'd be saving electric, yeah. Wow.
You might sometimes find them in a kind of pseudo laundry room that's attached to the kitchen, but not normally beneath the microwave. I do hope all of that sinks in. And speaking of sinks, that brings us on
clever.
to this.
He is so brilliant. Just big shout out to Lawrence. Lovely, lovely man. And he is, you can tell he's incredibly well educated. But not only that, he's got a wicked sense of humour, isn't it? It's normally... People that are that intelligent and good at researching don't really have a sense of humour. But
I actually feel that Lawrence should be our national treasure up there with Ant and Dec.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, above Ant and Dec.
Well, for us, yes.
They won't know who Ant and Dec is, so...
Oh, sorry.
Join me now and imagine a dystopian future in which humanity has run out of dishwashers.
Lawrence Brown for Prime Minister.
What would we do? Well, the answer to that question might depend on the country that you live in. For example, Americans would be more likely than Brits to hand wash their dishes under water running from a tap. On the other hand, Brits might be more likely than Americans to clean them in a sink filled with hot water. This is partly done to be more economical with water use, but it's also because British homes didn't, and in some cases still don't, have mixer taps. In other words, most British homes were equipped with separate hot and cold taps.
Yeah, back in the day.
Which is really annoying.
Dishes under a running hot tap.
And also baths as well. I remember when I was having a Sunday night bath before school, and you'd have like hot and cold, and if you put your back against one of them, it's either it gets really cold or you scald your back.
Yeah.
Might result in third-degree burns.
Oh, there you go.
Primed almost universally with mixer taps, which help them to regulate temperature, Americans don't have to worry about that.
One thing about taps or faucets. Faucets. My sister, because I'm really ruining the flow of this video, I do apologise. But my sister had a tap or faucet that flick a switch and boiling water comes out.
Oh,
so
yes.
you don't need to boil up a kettle or anything
No, we
like that.
do have them over here, but they're quite expensive and you have to have them installed, don't you?
Yeah.
Additionally, American kitchen sinks often come equipped with gadgets that might seem alien in some British homes. For example, and this is one of my favourites, the garbage disposal. This is a mechanical feature inside bottles that breaks up waste. It's also the cause of death for 57% of people in American horror films. And the other delightful gadget that's found in a lot of American sinks is the sprayer hose. This is kind of a pre-clean thing. You spray all of the gunk off the plate.
It's a good idea.
Clean your plate under regulated warm water. So, okay, in this dishwasherless dystopian nightmare, both countries do at least have options. But what about when it comes to drying the dishes? In Britain, it's fairly normal not to rinse the soap off before letting the dishes dry on the drying rack. Once there, the soap, in theory, slides off or dissolves. It was hard to explain that to my American wife because Americans, for the most part, rinse off the soap with tap water or, if you're feeling lucky, the sprayer hose, and either leave it to dry in the drying rack or may not get to it straight away with a towel. Now, I've never been passionately in favour of one method over the other, but the argument often thrown forward for the British way is that rinsing can leave water stains. And I suppose that's true if you're lazy, and thinking about it, I am. If I wasn't, I probably wouldn't make use of these.
Now,
Egg cups, yes.
This is one thing in our house that we hardly ever have an egg cup because
We've got one, haven't we?
We have one egg
Oh,
cup.
no, we got a Texas one, but
It's not an egg cup. We've been using it as an egg cup.
this is like a Texas shot glass that we were sent.
Yes.
And but it fits perfectly an egg on top.
We keep breaking egg cups. So yeah, we're using shot glasses.
Egg cups. What on earth is an egg cup? And I'm not exclusively throwing that question at Americans, because Americans of a certain region or generation have often told me, oh, we had those growing up. That was really British, sorry. But the fact is most Americans are probably not familiar with egg cups and most certainly don't have them in their houses. On the other hand, according to a law that I just made up, it's illegal for British kitchens not to have one. We're even
we got one though.
Birth.
Oh, okay.
Parents walk away with a baby, an egg cup and 4 boxes of PG tips. But what do we use them for? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this is where the lazy part of Lawrence comes in. They house soft-boiled eggs, and these are soft-boiled eggs.
Soldiers.
They have the top knocked off them. I've never been really good at that part. And what you do is you
Dip.
dip toast or bread soldiers
Love
into
that.
the egg.
Dippy
And
egg.
Lovely.
It is the most amazing.
Let us know if you've had this, or if you haven't, let us know if you're going to try it. Honestly, it's lovely. It can be with just normal bread with lovely butter or toast. Dip it in,
Gotta do it.
and then afterwards you could peel it out with a spoon. The rest of the
Eat all the egg
white. Yeah, lovely.
Breakfast in the whole world, and you're all wrong. Shut up. Egg cups. I do realise that for some of you, you've just learned a new word. The perfect segue into this.
Kitchen
Just to
lingo.
bring us full circle, there are of course many British and American word differences when it comes to food. I have done and will continue to do videos on that. But here's a short sample of variations in kitchen lingo. In Britain, whether or not the hot and cold taps are unified, tap is the word we go for. And while I have heard that word applied in the United States, Americans will often opt for faucet. And
Yeah.
sometimes when the plumbing's bad and the water won't come out, you might have to force it. Sorry, that joke only works in Britain. Anyway, whether it is tap or faucet, you will need to do the washing up. Washing up, that's what Americans say when they just take 5 minutes to clean themselves. In Britain, that's our phrase for doing the dishes. And if we're not being lazy, we might dry the dishes by hand. In order to do this, we use what is known as a tea towel. In America, I've heard many variants on this, but you might be hard-pressed to find somebody that uses the term tea towel. Instead, in Indiana, I think I most commonly heard dish towel.
It makes
In my
more
house, I
sense.
don't know about anybody else's. These can often be found hanging from the oven.
Yes.
I don't know why I did that, because actually both countries use the word oven. But in Britain, we also call it a cooker. And that's something for which my wife has ridiculed me for 15 years.
I know, I really enjoyed that one, and we really love Mr. Brown.
If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel, joining our family as we delve into all things USA. Like the video, and if you would like to see your name appear over here, check out the link in the pinned comments for all the fun pack perks of being a patron, supporting us. We would really, really appreciate it. And all that leaves us to say is,
Take care.
God bless.
And see you on the next video.